Have you ever wanted to make your own clay shaker bottles? Hello everyone, my name is Jess and I am the artist behind J Rose Alchemic Art, and this is going to be part 2 of my series of creating my own clay shaker potion bottles. So, in this second part, if you have not watched part 1, I would recommend it, as I do go into the details of finding specifically our bottles, trying to try out some of our clay ingredients, as well as coming up with the initial design for our label for the top of our bottle. In the second part here, I am going to be hopefully sculpting the rest of our clay ingredients. I will be planning out the specific detailed potion designs, so look forward to that, as well as actually printing out those labels and adding them to our bottles, and just eventually assembling everything and having it all ready to go to be added to the shop. So if you're at all interested in any of that, please make sure to stick around, maybe grab a drink if you'd like, and let's get right into it. Again, if you haven't watched the previous video, I would go back to see exactly all the clay ingredients that I ended up planning out, but in case you don't have time, here is a quick preview of all of the clay things that I have already started to work on and will be continuing to work on in the rest of this video, so that way we can finish out making our clay potion ingredients. For our video today though, I do want to actually finish planning out the actual shaker potion itself. So I have a couple of ideas for about 5 different potions that I think would be really fun to make as like our standard that'll be available for everyone. However, for my in-person events, and if I can eventually figure it out for online, I'm hoping that I can also have a create your own, so you can choose what ingredients you would like to put in your potion, and then you can assemble it together along with some beads as well to add a little bit of fun and variety to our clay shaker potions. So we're going to start first with going over some of our details. As you can see, I have already kind of figured out some designs that I would like to make, including Luna's Moondrop potions, Miracell's Bone potions, the Ghost Wizard's Magical potions, Lucy's Spooky potions, and Fred's Wilderness potions. So we have quite a variety of different clay ingredients and potions to actually sculpt, as well as I thought it would be really funny to make like a potion brew cafe to include as like a thank you for some of the orders of these. So I still need to finish this and actually draw it out, but for right now I am going to work on actually making the labels for all of these designs first. So we're going to start with that in Procreate. So again, in the previous video I had actually already made my initial clay shaker potion. This is going to be going on all of the actual bottles themselves, so that way they're easy to define and know that, hey, this is a clay shaker potion. However, what I do need to continue working on is actually finishing up the designs for the top of the bottles. So for those that are going to get the pre-assigned potion bottles, I am going to design these stickers for the top so people know exactly which potion they're getting. So between our Moondrop potion, our Bone, our Magical, our Spooky, or our Wilderness potions, we have lots of options. So for now, we're going to continue to work on the design of the potion labels. Alright, now that we have all of our potion bottle designs figured out and designed, I'm going to do a quick preview. So hopefully you guys are able to see we have Luna's Moondrop potion initially here. We also have Miracell's Bone potion, since she is our Bone Witch. We also have Ghost Wizard's Magical potion. If you couldn't tell, I am actually basing all of our potion designs from one off of the characters that I use most often in my art, but it's also kind of fun to incorporate some of those clay ingredients into their designs as well. So hopefully you guys are finding this interesting. We also have Princess Lucy's Spooky potion. And then finally, the one we were working on last was Fred's Wilderness potion. So kind of an amalgamation of everything else. Hello again everyone. Coming back now to finally get into our sculpting process, and I have already actually done a good portion of some of the things. So if you guys can hopefully see these. without it falling off the tablet. So we have a good portion of something sculpted, and I also have a couple more stars over here as well. You guys might have actually seen these in some of the shorts that have been putting out recently, but I do still need to finish quite a few other clay ingredients. So I do need to make some more flowers, some dragon eggs. I might make a couple more flower petals. I kind of wanted to throw just something extra in there if possible. We also need to make, you can see in here, a couple more mushrooms and the skulls as well. The skulls are going to take a while, I can already tell, mostly because I do use a clay cutter for it just to get those tiny little minute details. Let me pull it out for you so you can see it. Yeah, I absolutely love this mini skull. Hopefully you guys can see it okay, with all the little details in his eyes and his face and everything. And yeah, I just think it's adorable, and it came out so well. But oh my gosh, it took forever to get this too. So I already know this is going to take a while. I'm excited to do it, but yeah, it's going to take a minute. I also have some crystals ready. Here we go. So we have a couple crystals ready, but I do actually also need to add the mica powder to them. But once we actually finish all of our things, then we're going to be good to go to actually put them in the toaster oven and then bake it, glaze it, everything like that, and hopefully we'll be all good with our clay ingredients. So very exciting stuff. But for now, I'm actually going to just write everything out just to keep track of like how many more things I actually need to sculpt and kind of go from there. So now that we have our little list written out, I'm just going to go ahead and keep that off to the side so I know exactly how many I need to sculpt. Probably add a little notch each time I finish something, again just to keep track, and then we'll be good to actually start, well, adding mica powder, then bake, glaze. Yeah. Alright, so we very officially have all of our clay ingredients all sculpted out. So Here is everything from the flowers, the stones, the ghosts, the pumpkins, bones, mushrooms, everything like that. So there is definitely quite a wide variety of clay pieces that are actually all finished here. So the one thing that I actually do need to finish beyond now that the sculpting is actually done itself is to finally add the mica powder to our little clay crystals here, so that it really does give it some color and kind of some fun textures when you look at it. So I'm going to start on that next, but for you guys, you'll probably see me here in just a second. We have quite a variety of things all ready to go in the oven, so let's go ahead and get it in there. Alright, and now that we have all of our pieces baked through and everything has been cooled down, should be safe to work with. Got the last of the pieces here. We're going to go ahead and actually glaze everything. So again, that'll take some time to also kind of cool off from the glaze, if you will. Probably within like the next day or so, it should be all ready to go for our clay potion shaker bottle. So after this, we will go ahead and assemble everything and put it together. It's so exciting. Alrighty, our clay pieces are officially finished glazing. All of them still need to dry for a little bit, but here's just a quick little sneak preview of all the things. Poor Princey. I'm sorry if you can hear him. He does have cat allergies, so sometimes you can hear him sniffling or sneezing like that. But anyway, while the rest of these are finished glazing, I am actually going to go ahead and work on the next part, which is cutting and assembling the labels with the printer and Cricut. So we're going to get into that next, and then we are ready for assembly. Now the last part of designing our clay shaker potion bottles is actually finishing up with the labels for the actual side of the bottle and for the top of the bottle itself. So if you guys haven't watched the previous video, you might have seen me already design, there we go, focusing, this sticker for our initial, just to let people know exactly what the clay potion bottles are. Unfortunately, I think I made the sticker just a little bit too big. If you guys couldn't tell, you can kind of see like the sticker itself is kind of overlapping on some of the bottle. So I want to make it just a little bit smaller so it fits a little better and looks a little bit more even. And then I also had, like I showed before in the previous clip, I am going to be making a label for the top of the bottle so you know exactly what clay potion you're getting. So I'm going to print everything out with my printer in the back here really quick, and then we will print it out, or cut it, excuse me, with the Cricut. And finally we will attach everything to our bottles, assemble our clay potions, and get ready to show them. Alright, and now that we have our sticker printed, we're actually going to have it go through the Cricut and should be good to go. Alright, now that I have actually placed the new sticker on the bottle, it just looks so much better. Oh my gosh. I didn't really think that making the sticker just like a little bit smaller. I think I maybe cut it down to about like an inch, inch and a half. Did I sound that right? Half an inch. Wait, yeah, something like that. Sorry, my brain is a little tired. I think that it looks a lot better though. And honestly, like it looks more cohesive. Like you can't really see too much of a fold. There is just a slight little one, but I do feel like it fits the bottle that much better. So I am probably, since it's the next one is going to be for the top of the bottle, for the actual top itself, I think I'm going to actually try and measure against and then kind of get that to hopefully guesstimate a little bit better on what the top of the label should be instead of it being hopefully not as much of a guessing game, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, now the thing is I did kind of guesstimate on like what size is going to be for the top of the bottle, so I went for two different sizes actually on the page that is currently cutting out. The song of my people, clearly, with a stationary worker. However, I wanted to get something that is 1.33 inches and then one that's like 1.21 inches. And I thought that the 1.21 might fit the top of the bottle a little bit better, but I printed out both just to see what's potentially going to work. So yeah, everything's kind of a guessing game sometimes when I am not good at measuring things. It's fine. Even when I actually measure, it still doesn't work out the way I plan. But regardless, I am having that print out now. As soon as it's done, we'll try to do like a rough guesstimate for the top and like see if I can compare against the page. However, I feel like the true test is actually going to come when we print it out with the Cricut and then actually try to apply the stickers. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, by size comparison, I feel like these are going to be like a very close fit, these top ones that are a little bit larger. These are the 1.33 inch. However, I worry that it might be still too large and it might kind of overlap, kind of like how we had with the initial issue with the front of our potion bottles, that it's going to kind of run around the edges. But our 1.21 also seemed like a pretty good fit, so really we'll just see what happens when we actually can cut these out. So let's start with that. Alright, now that we have all of our little stickers printed, super cute. I love how they all came out, honestly. I think that we're ready to actually try putting them on our test bottle here. So we obviously have the two size designs, and I think I want to actually go for the smaller label first, because even just doing like a size comparison, like putting just like the actual, like I haven't peeled the sticker yet, I can tell that it's smaller, so you know for sure it's gonna fit. But then if we compare with our larger size, we do have not as much overlap probably. It looks like it's gonna be a perfect fit, but also feel like it'll come down to what actually happens when we put it on. So let's try real quick. All right. Now I feel like since this is going to be our first potion that we're hopefully technically completing, gotta have my girl Lucy out here with me. So since she is also one of the creators, if you will, of the spooky potion bottles, I feel like I should do her specific potion bottle itself. So I do have Princess Lucy's spooky potion right here, or at least her label for it. And yeah, we're just gonna see how well I'm assuming, I'm gonna try first with the 1.33 inch and see how well it fits. I think that it's gonna be like an exact match, but we'll see what happens. Oh my gosh, girl, you gotta stay up. Alright, and honestly, I feel like that one was actually a pretty good success. Who knew that I could actually guess it right the first time? But anyway, so we do successfully have our very first clay shaker potion completed. So we have our front label, obviously, that fits so much better. And then we also have our top label that describes what the potion actually is. So I am pretty darn happy with how this all came out, but yay. And obviously it sounds amazing. We're gonna go ahead and assemble a couple more, try to put some together with like the actual intended potion ingredients itself. Right now I just kind of have an amalgamation in here, I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna do that really quick and we'll show off kind of how it all looks now that they're finished. So I feel like it's not super impressive when the bottle is not like completely full, but technically there are over 100, and so, sorry, I don't know off the top of my head, I really probably should have counted. I did write it down, but I'm not going to read that off to you right now. There are over 100 clay sculpted pieces in here that are all going to be going into these bottles as clay ingredients, and I just think that's honestly really incredible. I am so excited, and I hope that you guys love these clay shaker potions as much as I do. I think the next one that I'm going to start out with is Marisol's bone potion, so let's fill up a bone potion. Alright, and that is everything successfully finished. We have made all of our clay potion bottles. I don't know that I can fit all 5 in one hand for this shot, but we're sure going to try at least. So, yes, here are all of them. All of them. Yeah, I can't do this with 2 hands. Sorry. Anyway, they all look really amazing, and I love how each of them sounds. I definitely, even when you plan out the project as much as you can, as I have hopefully shown you guys in this video, you know, sometimes you do have to make some twists and turns with like everything that comes with making something by hand. So ultimately I did end up adding for Lucy's Luna's Moondrop potion, I did add in a crystal as well, just to make it a little bit more full, and I think it gives it a little bit of extra color as well. I also ended up adding a bat wing to Marisol's bone potion. So I figured with, I'm pretty sure there's bones in the wing of a bat. I think so. I thought that it would go well with the theme of the potion itself. So yeah, ultimately, I think everything turned out great. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing all of the little details come together, from the sketching, the actual sculpting of all of the clay ingredients, designing the potion bottles, like the actual labels itself, and printing them out by hand. Well, printing them out by printer and then cutting them by Cricut. You know what I mean. But regardless, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this as much as I have actually creating everything. I do think that since I ended up making all these extra mini stickers just in case they didn't fit for the top of our potion bottles, I'll probably just include those with like any orders or any purchases of these clay shaker potions. But yeah, please let me know if you have a favorite of the designs so far. We'll do one last look at all of them just so you can kind of see them. And they are available currently on the shop right now, or at least they hopefully should be by the time this video goes live. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this one. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more spooky clay projects as well as just spooky art in general. I love to create different art pieces, clay pieces, everything under the sun of my spooky ghosts and their world. So if you're at all interested, please make sure to follow along. But anyway, yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that I will see you all on the next one. Have a wonderful day.